Okay guys, we're now working in the realm of rock music for our sweet notes, and we're going to be targeting tones of B minor in this section. First of all, let me show you the chords that you just heard me playing over, and those chords were Bm7 at the 2nd fret, and I'll be showing you the tones in that shortly. The next chord was an E5 chord. Okay, the next chord was a D. I've got an open E there too. And then A. Okay, so pretty much what I was playing was this. Okay, but it resolves back to the B minor. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to use the B minor pentatonic scale in the 2nd position, or at 2nd fret, and we're going to be targeting tones of Bm7 to be resolving to. Okay, now the chord progression moves past pretty quickly, so we can resolve to B minor regardless of the other chords, because our ear is telling us the resolve is B minor over the whole progression. Okay, let's start by learning a shape at the 2nd fret of the B minor pentatonic scale, and we'll be looking at which ones are chord tones too within the minor pentatonic scale. As you know, 4 of the notes are sweet notes, 1 of the note isn't. So we'll analyze that too. So here we go. Let's learn the scale in position. We're going to start with our first finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. That is our B note, our root note. We're going to be playing D, which is our minor 3rd of the chord. E, which is the 4th, isn't in the chord. Okay, so that's not a sweet note. We have F sharp is our next tone, and that's the 5th of the chord. A is our flattened 7th, and that's at the 2nd fret with the 1st finger. B is being played again with the 3rd finger on the 3rd string, 4th fret. We are playing with our 2nd finger, the D, which is the minor 3rd again. We are playing E, again, not a chord tone. We are playing F sharp with the 1st finger at the 2nd fret, and then we are playing A with the flattened 7th over a B-7 chord on the top string, 5th fret. Let me recap with you. Okay, B, okay, D, E, F sharp, A, B, the octave of, D, E, F sharp, A. Okay, let's walk back down that scale. A, F sharp, E, D, B, A, F sharp, E, D, B. Let's go lower. A, F sharp, A, B. Okay, now you guys are probably familiar with that scale shape as we used it over our funk progression at the 7th fret. So we're moving that information down to the 2nd fret now. Okay, now let's just quickly analyze the notes over our B-7 chord. B-7 contains B, F sharp, A, and D. Okay, so let's just throw the chords, the scale over the chord. B, root note. D is the minor 3rd and is a sweet note too. E is not, it's a 4th over the chord and is not a sweet note. F sharp is the 5th, is a sweet note, and A is the flat 7th. So we've got 4 in there. Okay. Now, if we want to take the E out of the progression, we can, but I'm going to tell you this. Over this progression, because we have strong tones of E within this progression, i.e. our E chord, we have a D that has an open E, and we have A, which has an E as the 5th in the chord. We have an E tone that is working on 3 of the chords out of the 4. So sometimes that's going to work really nicely, being that we're playing over a complete progression as opposed to just one chord. And what I'm going to do, let me just kind of walk through those tones of the scale over the progression. I'm going to play a little bit of it for you, and I'm just going to make it, you know, we'll just play the tones so you hear them against the progression. And you can hear for yourself that it's a great selection over that progression. Okay, let's do that. Then I'm going to get you guys to walk through it, and I'll guide you through that. And then we'll learn some licks just playing to each of the tones so you hear the strength of the tonalities of those sweet notes. So here we go. I'm going to just play through this, and you'll hear what I'm talking about. There's the E and it still works. F sharp. There's D to A. D, A, F sharp, D. And in that example I resolved, as you could see, to the D. And it worked perfectly well over the chord progression because our chord that we're resolving to is B, and D is the minor third of Bm7. Okay, so let's do that again, and what we're going to do is we're just going to select the B tone now over our chord progression, and you guys are going to play, and I'm just going to play partly along with you, so jam with me, and try and focus in on this tone here at the 4th fret, 3rd string, with your 3rd finger. Okay, add vibrato. And if you want to, you can bend up to the C sharp and back down to the B if you want to. Okay, here we go. Okay, slide into that B at the 4th fret, 3rd string. Then bending up, back to B. This time let's slide into that B. Okay, add vibrato. Okay. Hear how strong that resolution is against our chord. Okay guys, it's your turn to play across the B, Bm7 progression using your B. So target B tones and I'll guide you through it. Here we go. Okay, sliding into the 4th fret, 3rd string. That is the root of our chord, the B minor. Add vibrato to the tone. There it is, the B. Very strong tonality. Okay guys, put vibrato on that, smooth out the tone. Okay, that sounds really, really good. Okay, let's move on to the next tone that we're using in the scale that is a sweet note. And that note is a D, okay? And we can either play it here, low, okay, or we can play it up high. Just for this exercise, I think what we'll do is we'll play it higher because I want you to hear the tonalities more clearly across the chord. Okay, I'm going to play it once through and indicate that to you, and then you guys are going to jam against the track. Here we go. Okay, D at the 3rd fret, 2nd string. I bend up to an F sharp there, back to D. Okay, you see me playing the D, the minor 3rd, against our Bm7 chord progression. And there's our resolve. Okay, you can hear that sounds very, very strong against the chord progression. Okay guys, now it's your turn to play across the B minor, resolving to D. And remember, that's at the 3rd fret, 2nd string. You can use your 2nd finger or your 1st finger. Okay guys, here we go. Slide into the D. Okay, it's the minor 3rd against our B minor 7 chord. Here we go. Okay, now I'm going to go from the B to the D. Hear how strong that is against the chord. Okay guys, resolving now to D. Okay, the next note that we're going to look at is the 5th against the chord, okay, and it's in our scale and it's located here, and it's F sharp at the 4th fret and on the 4th string. So we're going to slide into that. I'm going to do the same example for you. I may go to some other tones, but I'll always come back to this F sharp so you can hear the strength of that tone. Follow with me, then it's your chance to have a play over this too. Here we go. There's the 5th of our B minor chord, F sharp, 4th fret, 4th string. Okay, you can hear that's a really strong tonality. F sharp, the 5th of B minor, against that progression sounds really, really good. There we go, and resolving. Okay guys, it's your shot at this now. Remember, F sharp is the 5th of B minor 7, and it's a great resolve over our progression here. Okay, let's have a try yourselves. Okay, 4th fret, 4th string, slide into the note. If you want to, go from the A here. Add vibrato to that note, make it really ring. Bend up to the C sharp if you want to. As long as we get back to F sharp, the 5th. Great guys. Okay, so now we've done B, which is our root note, we've played D, and we've played F sharp. The last note now, you're probably going to tell me what it is, and you should be saying to me it's A. So let's play the A. Alright, A is the flat 7 against the B minor 7 chord. Okay, going to keep it real simple, and we're going to resolve to the A that's found here rather than the 2 that are on the extremities of the scale. Okay, really nice strong resolution. So I'm going to play through it, and then I'm going to coach you. Here we go. I'm going to bend up to C sharp, down to the A. There it is, the flat 7 against the B minor 7 chord. Really nice resolution against that chord. 2nd fret, 3rd string. Okay, adding vibrato, make it really smooth. Okay guys, now it's your turn. I'll coach you through it as you're playing. Here we go. There's the A, slide in. Add vibrato to your tone. Here's your note that you're targeting. The flat 7 over a B minor 7 chord, which is A. slide up to B, back to A. Okay, so we've covered all 4 of our sweet notes now against our Bm7 rock progression. Okay, now what I'd like to do with you on this as well, let's look at a couple of bends that I would like you to add into this scale shape, just so you can bend up to some of these chord tones. Okay, just give you some examples. We're going to take E, which is not our chord tone, okay, and we're going to bend up to the F sharp, so 2 frets higher, and that would be a great resolution for us. So okay, you guys can hear there's the F sharp. Okay, and add vibrato to that. You could take the B on the top string here and bend up to A, which will give you your root note. Okay, we could also take the B here and bend up to the C sharp and then back down to B. We could do a semitone bend even, from B flat up to B. Okay, here's the whole tone bend from E to F sharp. Here's a whole tone bend from A up to B. Okay, so there's a couple of things that I'd like you to put into your playing too. We can add chromatics to this as well. So anything that I've shown you in the previous modules, you can add to these scales, providing you always resolve to a sweet note. Okay, so if you wanted to take the top string, for example, we could do a chromatic move from A down to F sharp. Okay, you could play from E down to the D, and a really good one would be playing from B down to A, or vice versa, A up to the B. Let me just play you a couple of examples of that kind of thing. You see that little chromatic move down to the A, okay? Alright, so as long as you target a sweet note, you can be fine. You can play any notes in between, connecting those tones. What I'd like to talk to you about in the next module is the modes. We're still going to be working with the rock progression of the Bm7 chord, the E, the D and the A, but knowing that we're not resolving in the key of A, I'm going to talk to you about tonal centers, and we're going to talk to you about the modes and help you understand how the mystical modes can be demystified, and you can use one scale providing that you know where you're resolving to. Again, it's the sweet notes concept in a broader sense. So let's move on to the next module and let's get ready to do some modes.